can only react to how you behave. They can't see into your heart and your terror.
Thankfully.
So she was very influential. Yes, it gave me the skill set, and then the feelings followed that led me to start my own business.
Wow. You've also had a lot of experience teaching 3 and 4 year olds. How's that helped you in your creativity, your business, and impacted how you teach college students as well as creative professionals?
It was really interesting. I got involved as both a Sunday school teacher at our church and then as a classroom aide for the preschool that was attached to the church. And completely out of my element, of course, going from college to preschool, 3, 4, 5 year olds. But it helped really on two levels. First of all, I think that they are small humans are the most inspirational, some of the most inspirational people I will ever meet.
Agreed.
Um, and they change later. I don't deal with teenagers. I will avoid teenagers at all costs.
A lot of parents
But
would like to do the same thing. A lot of parents would go, "Wait a
yeah,
minute, let's
oh,
skip
I'm
this time."
sure. Oh, I'm sure. But the other thing it caused me to do was to break things down, and in the sense that as a business person, in whether it was pricing or estimating or whatever it was, I had a tendency to overthink and overplan and overdo everything. When you're dealing with 3, 4, 5 year olds, you have to break it down to the smallest, almost the atomic level, and then build up from there.
Hmm.
And that was a wonderful, wonderful thing to learn. Uh, to get, I was actually able to move forward by going way backward
Wow.
to the beginning. To the beginning. It's good experience.
What a good lesson.
It was.
Well, I think
Very
also what comes to mind as you are talking about breaking things down to the smallest level, how important that is in business communications. Too often we make assumptions about what people know and think that if we give the broad generalities, it's enough. But
hmm
taking it down to details makes a huge difference in understanding.
Absolutely. Absolutely, I agree.
As a teacher on so many incredible levels that you've
hmm
covered, you've had to have had numerous light bulb moments when someone just
hmm
gets it, when something you've said has a life changing impact. How does that affect your teaching and your processes?
The way it affects my teaching is it keeps me doing it because it's a lot more work, I think, than most people realize. And again, I'm an over planner, and I rewrite my lessons every semester. I don't need to. Tax law hasn't changed, not too many changes in copyright. The things I teach don't change, but I rewrite everything every semester. So it's just my way of, I guess, refreshing and renewing what I'm doing. So the light bulb moment keeps me motivated to do that because it's an enormous amount of work, and I think that the it's that light bulb moment that tells me that I've done the thing that I feel is my mission in life, which is to create a whole person. Um, and what I mean by that is one of the things in the 30 years I've seen is continually treating business as it's the business side. Business isn't a side. It's not on the side. It's not a side dish. It's not a side. It is part and parcel of the whole package. And my contribution, if you will, my best hope is that my books and my workshops and my teaching, my monthly columns, they help people look at, and not just photographers, creative professionals, look at not just business on the side or as a side, but as an integration of the business into the creative. So to me, the light bulb moment is when that happens. There's Here's an example. There's nothing, very few things sweeter than when a say a photographer I'm teaching photographers right now at the Academy of Art in San Francisco. When the photographer gets excited about taxes, Charles, how crazy is that?
Crazy.
They get light bulb moments over paying taxes. Oh, that's how it works. So that 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 integration of business and creative. It's not on the side. It's not the business side. It's all one whole thing. I make whole people. That's my mission.
The word image that comes to mind as you're talking about that, I think has a parallel in healthcare. Treating the whole patient versus treating a symptom or a wound on the arm, or treating the organs as if they are separate from the person.
Interesting. Yes, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Business isn't separate from the creative.
Right.
It's all one whole package. Or you're a hobbyist.
Good point.
I'm very clear on that at the beginning of the semester. You will come out of this and you will. I have had students go through the whole program, decide, I'm going to stay a hobbyist. And then I've had just tremendous successes, wonderful case studies and stories about whole creatives that I have helped birth. So it's a great process. Great.
Yeah, as you say that, it comes to mind or brings to mind the pain that I've witnessed when someone comes to the realization that the business part of doing their work has been a wet blanket or a discouragement to their creativity, and they shut down their creativity rather than shutting. When they shut down their business, they stop doing what they're doing because it has so hurt their creativity. And I think of even like a restaurant, somebody who loves cooking starts a restaurant to find that they spend so little time cooking and preparing food that they lose their love of what got them started.
And that's because of the lack of the integration of the business and the creative. You've seen it in our business.
Exactly.
How many art directors have we seen get promoted to creative director only to go back to
oh my goodness,
drawing board? Because creative director is a management job, and they miss the boards. Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah. Can you remember a time when you tried something bigger and more scary than anything you've attempted before, more than the moment called for, and what came of it?
It was the moment after your chapter and a couple of other chapters, possibly, very, very quickly, I brought on a producer into the consulting business, particularly the workshops. And the big scary thing was, wow, I work alone. I've always worked alone, as most photographers do. I've never done this before. I've never had someone share my process, traveled with someone. It's like a partnership. So that was scary. And what came of it was essentially what we called our world tour, because it was the amazing part of it was that I didn't anticipate was how seamlessly we fit together, where I got to concentrate on what my creative bid is, which is the teaching and bringing people up to that whole level I've talked about with the integration of business and creative. And then my producer, Cindy Brenneman, got to totally concentrate on what she loves, which happened to be the business. So here I am, exactly in the same position as a photographer with a rep, and thinking, whoa, that's why photographers have reps. Now I get it. It was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. I think we toured for 5 years. I mean, she would literally say, where do you want to go? And I'd say, oh, Alaska. Is there a chapter there? Sure, there's a chapter there. Let's go. So, yeah, that was something I thought, well, I'll try it. Had no idea where it would go. And it became something very, very big, very successful. I think I count. Yes, I did count it and posted it once. Um, I don't know how many states, but it was 25, 26 ASMP chapters we did in the tour.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was great.
The
Good
success,
gig.
the success of a great collaboration. Cindy was doing for you
Uh-huh.
what you do for the people that you've represented.
I know, and I didn't anticipate that. I didn't anticipate how that would all work out. In fact, one of my photographers actually put us together. It was funny because he said what you just said. Oh, you two really have to get together. You are of like mind. Well, he meant of like mind, but more of a complementing each other like mind. In other
Right.
words, yes, exactly.
Right.
So one of my photographers introduced us, and we hit it off, and there it just took off. Just took off. It was
Wow.
amazing. It was.
Are there any fears or obstacles that through the years have continued to hold you back in any way? And how do they show up if they do?
Okay. Oh, well, my fears and my fears, not my obstacles, but my fears, I think are the same still as any creative professional, public speaking, personal promotion, sales, talking about pricing. Um, the the difference is I don't consider them obstacles anymore. They are opportunities, they're challenges, because what I have learned from very, very early on is that fear, all the fear means is, "Ooh, Maria, you're doing something you've never done before. Okay, let's see what happens." And that's the voice in my head that is the ignoring the fear and just moving ahead. So I listen to her, and then we just do it. So I still have those fears. I mean, I was not at the same level. What's happened, which was really interesting, let me take a second. What happened is at every level, starting at say teaching college classes. I mean, these are students actually very close to my age at that point, and absolutely terrified. I mean, like not even wanting to go into the room, terrified to teach these kids. Okay,
Yeah.
but I did it. But I did it. And then, as I said, behavior first. Act like you're supposed to be there, and the fear. I mean, the fear drops away, and the confidence to do it again takes its place. So as soon as I got comfortable with that, kick it up to the next level. That's when you came along. So we did the workshops and the conferences. Scared me mindless, out of my mind, scared. And then eventually, repeatedly doing the same behavior and achieving the success, then feeling of success and confidence follows. So it went on and on. I mean, to the level of doing keynotes. I can't even say it. It makes me so nervous. Keynote presentations. Really? Keynote? Do you know what a keynote is? I had to look it up. A keynote is the person that kicks off the conference and opens the conference with 700 artists looking at you going, okay, what do you have to say that's going to wake me up besides this coffee I'm holding?
Prove yourself to me now.
And I took that gig specifically because it scared me to death. I'd never done it, so I did it, and then after that it didn't scare me. Main stage presentations for the Society of Illustrators. Oh yeah. And AIGA. Oh wow. So every time, what happens is I've got a comfort level now. I've got comfort at these different levels, and when I find that comfort, I'm pretty much seeking out the next level of terror because that's what makes me grow.
Wow. Good lesson.
It is. It's been a good lesson.
What do you do to keep a happier or healthier personal or home life, especially when you're going through kind of a super nutty, busy period?
Mm. Oh, Oh, that's a great topic. I actually wrote a couple of times on that. It was for Communication Arts magazine, and when I was writing their freelance column, along the lines of kind of recharging your creative batteries, you're nurturing the creative